because he always used to act when like
I think like
Are the dominoes starting to fall where Vinícius Jr. to Arsenal is concerned? Let me know, folks. You would have seen on social media. Actually, you would have seen on social media, yeah. Are you not seeing Fabrizio Romano against that Sky Germany, Florian Plattenberg? They're going at it. I woke up today and saw it. They're proper going at it, people. Like, you are a clickbait merchant, you're this, you're that. You got all the other journalists who don't like Romano harping on, and right, it's crazy, isn't it? But on a serious note, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. Biggest club, arguably, in world football. I say give or take. In my 31 years, it's either them or Man United. Real Madrid is the holy grail. Obviously, it's Real Madrid, isn't it, if you've been watching football. And again, anytime Real Madrid are not the winners, they're going to spend money and get some stars. Now, I have to appreciate Yan Diamande's rise because in 3 years, 4 years, he's gone from, we all know about his story immigrating to America, that heartfelt letter you obviously would have seen, to his late sister. He's been playing in America, not even MLS. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He's gone Germany. He's been in Spain in Leganes. He's obviously put himself at the World Cup, in the forefront. And obviously, I'm sure he's become the first Ivorian to play for Real Madrid. It makes you wonder, yeah, how many people like in football, but also life, because life mirrors football, innit? How much people are talented, but they just need someone to show a bit of faith and a platform to expose their skills to the world. Because in a matter of years, he's gone to Real Madrid. As you can see here we go over Yan Diamande. Apparently, PSG are quite cheesed off, people, if you believe reports, because they believe Yan Diamande was going to be theirs. They're not. They want to hit back and get involved in Rodri deals. But Romano has apparently said, here, and another journalist, here we go, 100-odd million euros for the current Leipzig man, soon to be Real Madrid man. So some of you might be thinking, oh, is that the replacement for Vinícius Jr.? Me, I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I feel, yes, you can have those conversations that when you've got a Kylian Mbappe and a Vinícius, if you're Real Madrid, the collective comes first. You're great players, stars, but that's why you're here. The collective comes first, and you want them two players to shine together among all the other talent. At some point, someone's got to be the alpha, innit? Whether it's going to be Mbappe, whether it's going to be Vinícius, I don't know. Obviously, you got VINI contract stuff on the back burner. Me personally, and I don't know anything, they want to have Mbappe, Vinícius, and they probably need someone on the right-hand side. Now, I personally would give more seriousness to the rumors linking us with Real Madrid players if it was the Arda Gulers, the Hendricks, those that might struggle for game time with all these stars, much less 100 million euros, man, that's been signed for Jose Mourinho and Real Madrid at this moment. Apparently, Yan Diamande rejected a lot of clubs this summer. Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, they all tried to enter the race, but his answer was no, thank you. He informed all clubs, I only want Real Madrid, people. Apparently, Vinícius wants to stay and Real Madrid want to renew him. The player will make it hard. He wants to stay. Won't make it hard. He wants to stay at Real Madrid, which is his priority. No one wants to leave Real Madrid. If Real Madrid say we're selling you, that's a very different conversation. Nonetheless, people, allegedly, Arsenal are prepared to offer Vinícius Jr. the biggest contract, apologies, in the club's history. The figure of what it would potentially take to sign him has been discussed, and the Telegraph Sport understands finances will not be a barrier to their aims. I mean, it goes without saying, we're seeing the market in it. We're seeing how crazy it is. And again, I would say you've got to be able to put the money on the table, or you've got to find value. Or I would also say generally, because Vinícius Jr. in Europe has only played for Real Madrid, it's a bit different in that he developed at Real Madrid. They bought him from his native Brazil. They developed him into this star. It weren't like Cristiano Ronaldo, he's gone sporting, he's made his name at Man United, and then they bought the finished product. My point being, everyone's got to start somewhere. So it's either we find these guys, and there's plenty of examples, that we've been linked with, find these guys before they obviously become who they are, or you put the money down. I'm not even necessarily saying Vinícius, just broadly, because this is what the market looks like. And also, while I don't know all the variables, I would say don't delay, because we hear Morgan Rogers could have been done for 80 to 100 million in May and June. He left the door open. You see what happened. Even in terms of leaving the door open, that even happened with PSG and Yan Diamande. So there's learned experiences from us. There's experiences we could have learned in general. But naturally, if you do think you have a chance of Vinícius Jr., then you need to come correct. The signing on fee, the wages, what the knock-on effect of him becoming off the bat would be our top earner, the knock-on effect of your current stars and others. You have to be able to. So that doesn't surprise me, people. And I like the intention, I like the ambition and stuff, but that doesn't move me, because ultimately, if you don't sign these stars, you don't have them in it. I can't be there when the season's in the thick of it and we need a difference maker. Think back to August. Oh my God, the club showed intention to get Vinicius. So talking about Morgan Rogers, in my opinion, Morgan Rogers, Vinicius, who else is there? Barcola, this one, that one. It's all great, but at this moment in time, we've not addressed the areas we need to address. And also, the individual players are one thing, the profile. This tells me you want a star man that can play on the left-hand side. Bruno Guimarães links tells me we need another option in centre mid. Tentative links with a striker like Julian Alvarez. And obviously, we needed one anyways, but in line with Saliba's recovery, a versatile defender. Make sure when the window comes, apologies, these things have been addressed. Reports in Brazil are saying Arsenal are now preparing internally to make a move for Vini Jr. after receiving positive indications that a deal could be possible. Now, what does positive indications mean, though, folks? Because it could mean, he's on joining us if certain dominoes fall into place. It could mean, you know what, you lot will be the first people we'll call if Real Madrid are to sell or if we do want to move from Real Madrid. What does positive indications mean, people? And at this moment, I know there's a lot that needs to happen, and Lord knows how patient us Arsenal fans have been. Unless it's bids accepted, rejected, I don't know, man. It feels like the calm before the storm. For what it's worth, reports in Spain are saying Real Madrid want to resolve Vini's future as soon as possible. The club either want a contract renewal or a sale with no intention of letting the saga drag into the season. Real Madrid currently believe there's no other option but Vini entering the last year of his contract. However, the club does not rule out him extending during the season. The offer to renew remains, but it will not increase. So there's a lot of gameplay being said and indirectly some conflicting reports. For what it's worth, though, Arsenal eye Vini Jr. as Real Madrid push for contract talks after impasse. The Brazil winger 26 is entering the final year of his contract with the Spanish club, but Arsenal would need to make him their best paid player to be successful in their pursuit and pay Real Madrid appropriately. Arsenal apparently are exploring a move for Vini Jr., but the Spanish club are hopeful of resuming contract talks with the star after an impasse. Now, the dream is freed Arsenal sold separately. I wouldn't say be realistic, but you need to be realistic. Try all you want for Vini Jr., but it's looking in the balance, in it. So pivot towards other targets, whoever they are. The Brazilian is scheduled to return to training after the World Cup, and his priority is believed to be staying at the Spanish club, where he has entered the final year of his contract. Arsenal are willing to spend big on an elite player to match Mikel Arteta's calls to show ambition after losing the Champions League final on penalties against PSG. Vini wants to speak to Real Madrid about their new project under Jose Mourinho and his wages. According to Dario AS, a publication in Spain, the club have been willing to increase his salary after tax from 12.8 million to about 17.1 million. He has wanted a substantial signing bonus, which would bring his overall earnings to a similar level to those of Kylian Mbappe. Now, we're not Real Madrid. We ain't got Vini. We ain't got Mbappe. But you see how, Mbappe's come in and it's kind of changed how things are going on internally, apparently, with wages. That's going to happen at Arsenal. Now, obviously, we'd only have one Vini Jr. But what do you think is going to happen if you're Declan Rice, if you're Saka, if you're Saliba, if you're this one and that one when it comes to renewals? You might not necessarily want like-for-like terms, but you're going to want favourable terms. So it's the knock-on effect. And for me, on the obvious why, I don't think we're signing Vini in it. I've said this before. But as to why I would like it, because it would mark a new era for me. And what I mean by that is Dennis Bergkamp changed the trajectory of this club. You then fast forward, anti-Thierry Henry, but Dennis Bergkamp first initially. You then go to the skipping all the way to the Emirates era, people. Remember when we had austerity where we had to sell players and all of that? I think Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, for me, I'd always say Arshavin because we were broke. That felt like a big money signing. Big up Arshavin, hope he's doing all right. But we got Alexis Sanchez and Ozil. For me, that said, all right, the austerity thing that we've had to go through is kind of done. Obviously, since the Cronkies have taken full ownership, we have spent more money, like it or not. When we signed Declan Rice, that told me, all right, cool, we're really trying to be serious. And now we've been serious. Signing somebody of Vini Jr.'s kind of stature, if it did happen, that would tell me it's a new era. We want to win, attempt to win numerous Premier League trophies. We want to bring the Champions League, etc. So that it would be a good statement. I do think us Arsenal fans have kind of, after winning the Premier League and being on the high in the initial summer months, obviously with these failed pursuits and what the market's looking like, it's a bit down back to reality type of thing. Pre-season is now underway. I think the end of this week, we've actually got our first, we played behind closed doors against MK Dons, but to us, our first televised game, I think against Girona on the 1st of August. Happy new month in advance. So the season is creeping up on us, isn't it? World Cup mode's over. Mourinho has been looking at ways he can play Vini, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, and Yandy Amande in the same front line. That's nasty work. So you know what? Vinicius on the left, and Mbappe through the middle, Jude Bellingham in that quote-unquote 10 role, Yandy Amande on that right, couple 2-2 subs. You got Rodrigo, Endrick, this one, that one, Creed. The Spanish club want to sign RB Leipzig winger Diamande, who plays in the same position as Vini, and have had an 84.5 million offer from him rejected. Allegedly, he likes to play on the left versus the right, but Real Madrid will play whatever, which is why I mentioned the right-hand side. And I'm not being funny, there's a lot of games, people. Real Madrid had upped their offer to Vini since contract talks began, while he has lowered his demand. So what does that tell you? They've upped their offer, he's lowered his. In negotiation, the best negotiations is when nobody walks away happy in it. Some people get that, some won't. That tells me what. But on top of everything, because what reason does Vinny Jr. have to leave to leave the pinnacle of Real Madrid where he settled? Yeah, Real Madrid have upped their offer. He's lowered his demands. There's a willingness to meet each other both in both ways. And who knows, our alleged interest in him could be used in contract negotiations. And that's the frustration in that too many dominoes need to fall, in my opinion, for Vinny Jr. to sign for Arsenal. We're chasing Julian Alvarez, his first choice in Barcelona. Bruno Guimarães will get onto him, but it comes down to the money. Rodgers, it never happened, even for the hype. So again, there's lessons to be learned here. Apparently, Barcola prefers Liverpool, rightly so. They've probably laid the groundwork, and he knows that we weren't really on you like that. But yeah, people. So yeah, Arsenal. However, the impasse has led Arsenal to explore a deal after they failed to sign Morgan Rodgers, who obviously joined Chelsea for 117 million quid. The Premier League champions would have to make Vinny their top earner by some distance. His current contract was announced in 2023, and he's increased his earnings over 5 years to a total of 64 million after tax, and also included clauses for further payments. Bukayo Saka, who is Arsenal's highest paid player, earns about 300k a week, which is about 15.6 million before tax. So he would have to become our top earner. The 26-year-old has won 2 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid and was runner-up for Ballon d'Or 2 years ago. Arsenal have yet to contact Real. So again, it hasn't gone anywhere. Last year, they had talks about signing the winger Rodrigo. Vinicius, his club and international teammate, but ended without a deal. And he's on the mend back from an injury, people. So we'll have to see. Vinny got 22 goals and 14 assists in all comps last year, 4 goals in 5 games at the World Cup. Liverpool have been linked with Diamande on a free transfer next summer. They also transferred Diamande as well as PSG. Also expected to step up their interest in Bruno Guimarães this week, having indicated they'll be willing to offer 70 million for the Brazil midfielder. Bruno is due to return to training with Newcastle United on Friday. I have covered this, but I'll read it again, people. Eddie Howe said, I don't know what's going to happen with his future. That's for other people to speculate about. There's conversations I'm not part of. He's captain of our club and been an unbelievable player through the whole time we've worked together. I speak on behalf of everyone at the club. We absolutely love him. And of course, everyone would love him to stay. He's due back on the 31st of July, and there's nothing to say he won't be back. Obviously, big up Zolas, who scored in our 3-0 friendly behind closed doors against MK Dons. Reece Nelson, I know he's still at the club. And Wanyeri did well. Sorry, Zolas made his debut. Reece Nelson, Wanyeri, an 18-year-old O'Neill also scored. So, yeah, man, it's time to get a move on, if I'm completely honest. This is of interest to me. Arsenal's offer for Bruno Guimarães is, in the words of one source, at least 10 mil short of Newcastle's valuation. We know at times we can be stingy, and principles are principles. But one, that makes me think, oh, because I've seen us not get deals done over a quote-unquote couple of pounds, really. And I've also started to feel, you know what, 10 million, come on, man. Come on, like 10 million, fine, come on, bro. If you really rate him that much, don't miss out on over 10 million, because you already shot yourself in the foot several times, man. So, yeah, it is what it is. But on the Bruno stuff, apparently we are set to step up our pursuit, and we're set to accelerate talks for Bruno Guimarães in the next week. TalkSport understands. Apparently, the captain of Newcastle is our priority signing. For all the talk, again, there's been no progress. Newcastle apparently insists formal talks are yet to begin, but TalkSport understands verbal discussions are ongoing with Newcastle senior leadership now directly involved. Arsenal prepared to pay north of 70 million, while Guimarães has already agreed broad terms. Newcastle have been left frustrated over the speculation regarding Guimarães' future, and insiders are surprised by Arsenal's lack of formal bid to date. Yet Arsenal sources have told TalkSport 3 verbal offers have already been placed. So this is what I mean. There's bare whispers. No one knows nothing. The clubs clearly disagree on what constitutes a bid, which may be in part down to semantics and also the use of intermediaries. Newcastle can ill afford to lose their captain this summer, having already seen Sandro Tonali and Gordon depart people for Tottenham Hotspur and obviously Barcelona, where those 2 players are concerned. Guimarães has got 2 years left on his deal. The Magpies are under no pressure to sell after losing 2 key players already. With Arsenal stepping up their pursuit of Guimarães, again, we've gone over what Eddie Howe has said, people. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what's going on. Talksport understands Newcastle also want quick clarity over Guimarães' future. Sources are resistant to compare the situation to Isaac, given Newcastle gave Guimarães. Newcastle believe Guimarães won't refuse to participate in pre-season or play for Newcastle. Again, naturally, he's going to be a popular figure all around Newcastle as a town, as a club, and obviously in the dressing room. Apparently, they don't want this to drag people. While those close to Guimarães have told Talksport he'd prefer his future results sooner rather than later as well. He's still on a break following the World Cup, people. Newcastle sources also indicate a 70 million bid would be rejected, but Talksport understands Arsenal are prepared to go higher than this reported number. So there's bare whispers, people. We'll just never know. PSG apparently have set 120 million euros asking price on Barcola, who apparently prioritizes a move to Liverpool. 4 Premier League clubs have registered an interest in the 23-year-old. However, it's Liverpool who are currently leading the race for the forward services. Rightly so. Liverpool, big club. Areola's going to get things in order. They tried to get him last year, so they've been putting on the groundwork. They've made a man feel valued. Obviously, you look around at some of their attackers. Barcola could probably imagine himself doing stuff there. Hey, Liverpool, if you ever want to sell Rio and Gomorrah, give us a shout, man. So yeah, 120 mil. You look at somebody, 117 for Rodgers, 120 million asking price for Barcola. Vinicius, who knows what that's going to cost if we were to get to that, people. Apparently, Barcola does not want to extend his contract at PSG. People, he's got 2 years left to run. I wonder if PSG will still sell, because some of the reports, they don't want unhappy players, but their failed pursuit of Yan Diamande, maybe they say, do you know what, Barcola will hold on to you for 1 more year. Next year, with a year left on your deal, we'll sell you. They'll still make a handsome profit, and I'm sure Lyon will be happy with any pennies you get. But again, Barcola was at Lyon. This is what I mean. You got to move early, find these guys. Or when they end up at the PSGs or an Aston Villa team that's won a European trophy, or in Rodrigo and Vinicius' case, they go to Real Madrid. If there isn't a deal to be done, you got to be prepared to put the money down in it. Apparently, he's turned down Chelsea. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Bayern Munich, for their part, also said to have put Barcola on their shortlist to bolster their squads. PSG are reportedly demanding a hefty sum of 120 million euros to agree to let him go. For Barcola himself, this situation is ideal, as he is aware that time is on his side with a move in mind, though he will not force the issue, people. So it depends what you want to make of it. This has said he's prioritizing a move to Liverpool. Liverpool's sporting project particularly appeals to Barcola, who is also a target for Arsenal and Bayern Munich. The 23-year-old has reportedly rejected the chance to join Chelsea. And obviously, that's a good opportunity as well. Should he join Liverpool, he'd also link up with Jeremy Jacquet and Hugo Ekitike. So there are some players to link with. Chelsea apparently are refusing to give up where their pursuit of Alex Scott's concerned, people, and they're preparing another bid. I only mentioned him because he's been linked with us. Young Axel, can't say his last name, 16-year-old Welshman playing at Cardiff, became Cardiff's youngest player when he featured in the EFL Trophy. Has apparently already completed his medical at Arsenal, as his move set to be announced. Liverpool are doing everything they can to sign Barcola, reports Sky Germany. Julian Alvarez will make another move to force his transfer to Barcelona. He will do so in late July or early August at the latest. Barca are waiting on his move to make a new attempt to sign him. So we're going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat, man.